was what that was all about,
This
because
is
I know there was
Sasheen
some
Littlefeather.
confusion there, and it
In the
was supposed to have
1970s,
meant
after
one thing,
the
very
Marlon Brando
spiritual
thing.
and beautiful to you, and it got turned around and meant something
yeah,
else.
it definitely got turned around. It got completely misinterpreted for what it was originally. I mean, as far as myself, I consulted with some Indian medicine people who, to me, are very, very sacred people, and I prayed with them. And I went to Mass and Holy Communion, too, and received the sacraments. I'm also Catholic. And I prayed very, very hard, and I fasted, and I gave it a lot of thought about the truth had to be spoken. I prayed to the Great Spirit, and I asked him that his spirit might dwell in mine, and that we might become one. And then at that point, when I spoke, those would be his words, the words that a Catholic learns at confirmation. The words of the Great Spirit are not afraid to speak the truth. It's always proud of speaking the truth,
Yes.
no matter how it's taken by the people, because the truth can never be denied. And it's just that, a fact.
Well, why wasn't the truth? If the truth was spoken, was it...
Because people have a way of living an existence that is not based on truth, and therefore they question other people when they speak, because
They thought you were showboating, or...
showboating or egotistical or some type of phony or something like that. In other words, some people, because of what they are themselves, chose not to believe me. And that, again, is their prerogative. But what it was for me was a very spiritual event. I had prayed for it to come across in a very truthful fashion. I had prayed to God that he might be with me that night. And I had also consulted with the medicine people so that they might give me the encouragement in the Native American way to say something and not to be harsh or unkind.
What did you want to say briefly? Because you just had a very brief time then. Can you say again now, either in those words or other words, the single message that you, as an Indian, wanted to communicate to?
Well, very basically, I think it's true for most people. That is that the image of our race has not been one of truth and dignity and honor as far as films go, as far as the mass media has made out the Indian to be. You know, we are portrayed as ignorant savages, most definitely in most of the films past and still at present. And our image has been one of a drunk or one of a lesser secondary citizen. And I feel that, you know, to that audience that night, that I wanted to tell them that we did have this stereotype, and that they were going to in some way have to open up their minds and their hearts and begin to understand that if the media was used negatively against the Native American, then we could all pull together and help the media to make a positive stand toward the Native American, making it positive, the image positive once again.
Enlighten itself for ourselves. Sasheen, it's
You see, if the tube creates a negative image, it can be used to create a positive image, very basically.
I think, personally, what drove it home to me, I suppose there's a buildup of things, and for some people it was Watergate, and for me it was Southeast Asia, when I found out that gradually the realization dawned that we were the bad guys, that we were the aggressors, that we weren't wanted, that this wasn't a just or moral cause or war. But the media had said, and our government, our leaders had said, this is a good thing. I was reminded of the cowboy and Indian stereotype.
Well, you see,
where the cowboy wore the white hat, the Indian was the...
I'm not into politics. That's something else that's been misinterpreted. A woman who's a militant, a woman who trots out the front door in the morning with a gun or something, you know. I mean, I might trot out in the morning with some good words for people, but, you know, that's, I'm not the type of person that is out as an all-in-all militant.
In fact, you rather turned off to groups like AIM and other political caucuses that use violence.
Well, the utilization of violence provokes violence, but I feel that there are greater ways that Indian people can serve the community and can really make a dent. If a person, for example, the textbook is a sign of the new warrior. Getting a college degree, whether it be in law or medicine or whatever, this is a very significant contribution.
Sure.
We need a lot of Indian people in the media, television reporting, producing, directing, camera people, etc., so that we can also add what we have to offer to the media in order to help change our own image. We need Indian filmmakers, both documentary and entertainment films. We need more Indians in every profession.
Sasheen, I want to get to that in the context of you, because you're the one I really care about. But just to clarify this thing, if there are people outside who accused you of showboating and say, well, you're piggybacking your Indian blood, to get some sort of exposure or recognition, there must also be people within the Indian community, these 300 plus tribes, who resent you and, consider you phony. And yet, well, I saw you Saturday night at the powwow.
Oh, at the powwow, yeah.
Very warmly received by people. Now, maybe there are detractors as well. I didn't see that. People who are jealous or resentful. How do you handle that?
Oh, that's, I don't know, it goes on forever and ever. You see, there's nobody that really dislikes an Indian as much as another Indian. And we have considerable backstabbing within our own race as well.
You're Apache.
Yeah,
Apache.
White Mountain Apache. I'd like to just say a little bit about my particular tribe. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and then ask you to give me some answers. First of all, who were the people that conquered the Indians in the Southwest, California, New Mexico, and Arizona? Who were the people?
The Spaniards.
Right, the Spaniards. And under the domination of the Spaniards, the Indian people were forced into a servitude. And we built the missions, and we served the Spanish, and we adopted some of their ways and their foods and habits naturally. We were enculturated into their society. And they baptized us into Catholicism. And you will notice that many of our tribes of California and the Southwest, Arizona, New Mexico, we have Spanish last names. My family's name is Cruz, C-R-U-Z. Our tribal chairman's name is Ron Lupe. And we have other Apaches with names like Garcia and Torres and Martinez and so forth down the line. Because at the time when the Spanish were conquering peoples of our tribe, an ethnocentric ego, they weren't going to give us French names, they gave us their names, these Spanish names.
This was an intermarriage, you're saying
No,
superimposed
they
the last name.
superimposed these names upon us. And so we have a right to go either by our family name or we have a right to go by our Indian name, which is usually given us by an older person of the tribe or someone within our own family. And it can be something that is associated with us personally.
That's Little Feather for you? Is that
Feather.
how that drives? Because I know Sasheen is a nickname almost to her
That's
family.
my nickname, right, of my family. Before I became Little Feather, I was Sasheen Cruz. And then after I was given my Indian name, Juggy Bisidaye, which means Little Feather, I went by that. But there's no mystery to this at all. There's no hype. There's no phoniness behind it. It's simply a misinterpretation by other people who really are not educated to understand Native Americans. And
how do you handle the mix of the two? The fact that you can be Roman Catholic and Indian, and sort of harmoniously incorporate the two. You speak of the divine spirit and the Father, one and the same. And of course,
I think really they run really close together. I'm really amazed at the closeness of religious beliefs, and the values that they have between them. This is only my personal belief, and I don't speak for anybody else. I find a lot of joy in attending sweat lodge ceremonies, for example, in my native.
He's over there. He's off the bed. This is what happens all night long where I don't get any sleep. To get off the bed. And he'll just start crying. It's not because he has to go to the bathroom. It's not because he has to do anything. It's because I honestly don't know why. Hey. Anyways, that's Sasheen Littlefeather. I want to give more information on her. What's your brother doing, little girl? I look at you. I see you. I see you. Is this what we're doing? Come here. Come on. I didn't say for you to come here. Come here. Okay, he's having a hissy fit, but this happens all night long, and then I don't get no sleep. And then he'll go to the other side of the room and do this too. Hey.